These days, Canadian commercial aviation is dominated by flag carrier Air Canada, while WestJet and Air Transat account for the majority of the country's remaining airline traffic. However, if one looks further back in time, several other large Canadian carriers can be found. Among these is Ward Air, which even operated the iconic Boeing 747. But what happened to this airline? Ward Air first came into being in 1952 and commenced operations the following year. However, its roots lie in the previous decade, where in 1946 Maxwell Ward founded the Polaris Charter Company. Based in Yellowknife in Canada's Northwest Territories, the small regional airline served remote communities within the area and in the neighbouring Yukon Territory. Polaris flew passengers and cargo on small biplanes such as the de Havilland DH-83 Foxmoth. Ward Air had similarly humble beginnings, commencing operations in 1953 with a single-engine propeller-driven de Havilland Canada DHC-3 Otter. Its network first expanded into Canada's more populous regions. However, within a decade, Ward Air was looking much further afield. Less than 10 years after its inception, 1962 saw Ward Air lease its first large airliner. This Douglas DC-6B propliner allowed the airline to expand into the international charter market. Utilising the DC-6, Ward Air served European destinations in the summer and the likes of Mexico and California in the winter. Its first jetliner, a Boeing 727 which made one-stop transatlantic flights possible, followed 4 years later in 1966. After another 2 years, the presence of the Boeing 707 in Ward Air's fleet eliminated the need for this stop. The following decade then saw the advent of wide-body aircraft at the airline. Ward Air took delivery of its first Boeing 747 in 1973. This represented the first of 5 jumbos that would eventually serve the airline. Planespotters.net notes that these comprise 3-100 variants delivered between 1973 and 1986 and 2-200s delivered in 1979 and 1980. Other wide bodies to have been present in the Ward Air fleet include the McDonnell Douglas DC-10 and the Airbus A300 and A310. Despite boasting an impressive intercontinental route network, which also included scheduled transatlantic flights from 1985, Ward Air fell into financial difficulties in the late 1980s. It had found itself unable to attract business customers to its scheduled services, as many had already developed loyalty to competitors' frequent flyer programs. The airline was eventually sold to Canadian Airlines, whose network benefited from the addition of Ward Air's intercontinental routes. However, this carrier was also not without its difficulties. Having been formed in 1987, it existed for just 14 years before various financial struggles forced Canadian Airlines to merge with Air Canada in 2001. A founding member of the Star Alliance, today Air Canada serves nearly 220 destinations with over 160 aircraft. Did you ever fly with Ward Air? Let us know your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Did you know that we publish over 175 stories every single week on simpleflying.com? Be sure to check the link in the description for more great stories just like this. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe before you go.